What's up, fight fans? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Pah, pah. You know what it is. Alright, fight fans, you know the prodigal son returns once again. I know I've been going on a little hiatus for a little while, but I needed a break, man. I was feeling uninspired, man. I had to brush my shoulders off, man. I had to get some dirt up off my shoulder, man. I had to stun on a few niggas. Just take some time to myself. Need a little reprieve from the boxing game. I just wanted to see the smoke clear on a few things. But as always, I pay close attention. I see everything. I don't miss a beat. And I am on my shit. So, on another note, I would like to tell you guys sincerely, deeply from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We are almost at 1,300 subs. And we did it in a very rapid time. So let's continue building blocks and let's continue killing the boxing game. Now let's get into the bullshit. Two hands. Okay, fight fans. I'm sure you guys are reading this headline. I know you see what it says. I mean, shit. I know you guys aren't blind. I mean, shit. You're looking at the computer screen and hey, you're talking with me. Two hands, or I should say, you're tuning in with two hands. Andy Ruiz Jr. has not been training for the past 2 months. This is out of Tyson Fury's mouth. This is out of Manny Robles' mouth. This has been out of my mouth for a very long time. He hasn't been training. And, I mean, shit. A blind man could see that shit. Ray Charles could see it. I mean, all you have to do is pay attention to the individual, pay attention to the actions of the individual, and you can see exactly what they're doing. And the actions of Andy Ruiz shows me that he has been doing nothing but shucking and jiving and basking in his newfound wealth, enjoying the time with his family, his wife, his kids, and all of that. And I mean, that's all good, but you have to have a balance. And in combat sports, you have to have a skill set and discipline. And if you think of a guy who is just on the brink of suicide and he comes into all of this money, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to think the newfound successes of his money is going to change his life. But as my mother always told me, money isn't everything. Because when you got all of the money and you're still unhappy and you're looking around you and you're like, what do I do next? Where do you go from here? Well, you're going to have to go back to the drawing board. And the drawing board is something that Andy Ruiz has not been willing to go back to. He has been feeling himself. He has been on his talking cash shit world tour, popping a lot, just saying a lot of outlandish things in the headlines. And I've already told you this. So just because Tyson Fury is saying it, it doesn't make anything new. But let's expand on what Tyson Fury is saying. Tyson Fury has recently said that Andy Ruiz Jr. hasn't hit the gym in the last 2 months. Has been too busy doing TV shows, riding Rolls Royces, indulging in all kind of publicity stunts. Doesn't that sound familiar? The Mexican fighter caused one of the biggest upsets in boxing history when he beat Anthony Joshua on June 1st in New York. Recently, Joshua is now preparing to take his revenge in their next encounter, scheduled for December 7th in Saudi Arabia. However, Tyson Fury has learned that the new IBF, WBO, and WBA champion is completely out of shape and hasn't been working out. The news will be a melody for punters who are backing AJ to win the match, talking about betting. It's worth noting that boxing is one of the most popular combat sports that gamblers prefer betting on. Tyson Fury stated if Andy Ruiz comes in shape and has trained, then I think he does the same thing again. But one thing I know is AJ trains hard and he dedicates his life to boxing. I know that Andy Ruiz has been running around in a lot of Rolls Royces and doing a lot of TV shows, eating a lot of tacos, and he's not been in the gym for 2.5 months because I've been speaking to guys and nobody sees him. Oh my God, could the evidence not pile up any freaking higher, man? Look, I see it right here, August 26th, man. Inside Andy Ruiz's lavish 30th fucking birthday party as the champion celebrates with Logan Paul and Jake Paul of all people ahead of the Anthony Joshua rematch. Mind you, we basically in September. Man, he got Naked Sultry Ravens, Scotty Music, and all of these dudes smoking joints. They smoking weed, they drinking, they doing their thing. Got naked sushi girls. No discipline whatsoever, man. So, I mean, look, man, the proof is in the pudding, man. I can't make this shit up. I can't draw it up. I can only show it to you, you feel me? But let's talk about Tyson Fury, bitch ass. Now, it doesn't take rocket scientists to know that this nigga's a clown. And Tyson Fury is a flip-flopper, and he's trying to keep his name relevant due to the fact that he's fighting another guy named Otto Wallen that the whole world seems to believe is Tom Schwartz because they can't even get his name right in the magazines. But I'll digress. Because the same guy was calling Anthony Joshua a quitter, the same guy that's saying Anthony Joshua's going to lose again, it's the same guy that's saying Andy Ruiz isn't training. All I'm saying is keep that same energy, bro. Don't try to toe the line on both sides. Don't try to be a friend over here for popularity points, and don't try to be a friend over here for popularity points just to keep your name relevant, because, you know, it's absolutely absurd. We know how you get down. But at the same time, there's 100% truth in this, because we know this to be true. Why? Because Andy Ruiz's trainer has told us. Hold on one second. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. We should not be surprised here if Manny Robles has said this kid has not even showed up for camp, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't even showed up for camp. He hasn't showed up for camp. He hasn't showed up for his trainer Manny Robles, who helped him get in this position. His trainer Manny Robles, who's already taken to TV and said that Andy Ruiz's the biggest threat to Andy Ruiz is himself at this point. Complacency, having the newfound success, being able to still get up and act like you want to get punched in your face every morning. That is the thing. Because, I mean, let's be realistic here. Nobody likes to get punched in the face, but that is your occupation. And when you get $7 million, it's kind of hard to get up just to get punched in your face in the morning. But I'll digress. No, as a matter of fact, I won't. This, for all you newfound Andy Ruiz fans, and I'm sure you guys are going to back your foot up off the gas as we start to get closer and closer to the rematch. Because, I mean, even Ray Charles could see once again that this isn't going to bode well for the Snicker kid. I mean, he is not taking this seriously at all. I mean, he got his little $1 million increase, and I mean, he is over the moon that he got the contract reconstructed for an extra $1 million. And that's another thing I wanted to highlight. As you guys all know, Andy Ruiz took to his Instagram and he proceeded to pop his usual bullshit, which had me pretty fired up. Is the reason why I took some time off for a little while, because I felt like I was getting a little too emotionally invested in all of the politics of boxing and everything. And I know what type of circus charade this is, but nevertheless, Andy Ruiz took to Instagram and he basically told us that the fight will be on his terms, that the fight is going to happen in America, that he has no protection in Saudi Arabia. And you guys know that I did the video, Andy Ruiz chooses kidnapping, car bombings, and murder, etc., in Mexico over, you know, some drone strikes in Saudi Arabia. And I'll leave the link in the description box if you guys haven't seen the video. It's a great video. You need to check it out. Pretty informative, as usual. But I'll digress. Yeah, so he basically said that the fight will be in the U.S. on his terms. And as I've told everyone that have proceeded to call me jealous, who proceeded to say that I'm an Anthony Joshua fanboy, instead of looking at it with like a logical hypothesis that I'm trying to bring you guys, to give you my best point of view, to let you guys know what could truly happen, what he can do, and what he cannot do. But you guys proceeded to call me a liar, try to say this isn't true, and etc., etc. But where does Andy Ruiz Jr. happen to be fighting on December 7th, and why exactly is that? I mean, I'm just saying, though, from the paperwork it says New York Southern District Court, Judge Kevin Castle, case number, nature of the suit, 190 contract, other contract cause, diversity action, case field, August 23rd, 2019. Defendant, Andres Ponce Ruiz. Defendant, TGB Promotion, LLC. Plaintiff, Matchroom Boxing Limited, represented by John S. Kierman de Beauvois in Plimpton, New York. It's kind of interesting. So, Andy Ruiz is now all of a sudden on board for Saudi Arabia, and he so wants to give everybody a good time. Well, what did it take necessarily for Andy Ruiz to get over to Saudi Arabia? Man, Eddie Hearn gave him an ultimatum. You're either going to take barely a little over $1 million more dollars, so he roughly got paid $10 million. So he got paid $10 million, basically no more than $11 million to jump in the goddamn ring and his ass is over in Saudi Arabia, but wasn't protected in America. Do you truly believe it was about protection? Absolutely not. Do you truly believe that he found a loophole in the contract because he wasn't protected? Absolutely not. Do you truly believe that Andy Ruiz is the A-side now? Absolutely not. So is Eddie Hearn a liar? Or is Eddie Hearn definitively telling you the truth about what's going on, and he kind of put his own fucking snicker finger foot in his mouth when it comes to this situation? Because we clearly know what happened here. And we clearly know when he announced that he was fighting Anthony Joshua. And if you guys don't know, oh gosh, don't worry, I will be more than happy to tell y'all motherfuckers. So I ask you, all you newfound boxing fans, all you newfound Andy Ruiz fans, are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? Am I not the diabolical hater that you consider me? Am I not hating on his wealth? Am I not doing all of these negative things that you guys said that I was doing? Or is the fight on? Does Andy Ruiz Jr. cave into Joshua's legal action to sign the Saudi a rematch contract and vow to end the Brit's career? Absolutely. So, clearly, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But y'all the blind misleading the blind though, right? Hold on, I'm not finished yet. I am not finished yet. Another thing I want you haters and I want all of my subscribers to pay attention to is pay attention to the date that this article came out. It came out on August the 24th. And if you guys know that I always do things in timeline, if you take a look at the last article pages I put up, the lawsuit was filed on August 23rd by Matchroom LLC. Now, when does Snicker Fingers sign on? Oh, August 23rd, 2019. I dethroned the king June 1st and made history, becoming the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion in the world. I'm looking forward to ending his career in the desert. Mostrar la grandeza del boxeo mexicano en Arabia Saudita. So, do you honestly believe that he signed on to the contract because he's thinking about dethroning the king, or that lawsuit put foot in his ass and he chose the ultimatum of another $1 million, or they sickened the dogs on him? But according to you feeble-minded commenters that don't take the time to do the research, that doesn't understand the inner workings of business, that are too emotionally caught up into looking at things through fucking beer goggles instead of looking at things through clear lenses, that Andy Ruiz was never the A-side. Andy Ruiz was never the A-side on any portion of it. Andy Ruiz was just simply holding Matchroom jock straps. And as I've told you guys, when Eddie Hearn says jump, you will say how high. Because at the end of the day, it is just like I've said before. Is it worth giving Andy Ruiz the money he's asking for, or are you better off is it cheaper just suing the fat motherfucker? Because clearly that's what it boiled down to. It had to boil down to them suing Andy Ruiz, and at the end of the day, I don't necessarily want to see this play out in the legal rooms. If it costs another $1 million, cool, give it to him. I just said don't do anything that is absolutely outlandish, and of course Matchroom didn't. So kudos to that, kudos to them getting the job done, and kudos to getting the fat boy back in the ring, because he truly deserves every bit of the ass whooping he's going to get. And I hope that he leaves out of the ring in an ambulatory fashion. But hey, that's my own personal opinion. I'll digress. Once again, where all the haters at, man? Where y'all at? Y'all been kind of silent, but hey, man, I'll digress. What's up, fight fans? Man, to answer this question 100%, will Andy Ruiz end up like Buster Douglas, Oliver McCall, and Hakeem Rodman? Abso-fucking-lutely. In the words of Floyd Money Mayweather, abso-fucking-lutely. The guy's been reporting the training. I've showed you on so many levels how undisciplined he is. He's got his mind focused on the wrong thing. Gluttony is one of the fucking deadliest sins, as well as fucking vanity. And I mean, he's pretty much entrenched his mentality, his way of thinking, his lifestyle, and all of those things. Party, and bullshit. Party and bullshit. That is Andy Ruiz's life. And I mean, shit. I mean, the guy was already freaking one more Snickers away from becoming a Michelin fucking tire fucking logo. So, I mean, he's already bloated, overweight, and Anthony Joshua's been doing nothing but non-stop training. So do I see Andy Ruiz having a chance? Absolutely not. But I would have to say he does have a 0.1% chance, considering the fact that he pulled off the miracle once, but that was at 99.9% chance. That was that 0.1 that he got the job done. So no, I do not believe in Andy Ruiz. I don't believe in his skill set, and I believe all of the distractions of, you know, the immature, lackluster performance that is the PBC, and that is their management, that is their, you know, their fearless leader Al Heyman, and all of the little freaking Energizer Bunny batteries that they put into Andy Ruiz's back. I do believe that he is just now destined for destruction, and he is going to do exactly what his name is. He is going to destroy his own fucking life. So don't look for anything other than that to happen. He is a bust. He is a 11-1 odd, and he will end up like that in his ESPN story, just like Buster Douglas. But I'll digress. So now moving forward to the rest of the news, since I'm just on my own boxing timeline, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the content that I'm putting together, considering that I just love bringing you the facts. Andy Ruiz continues to make threats in Anthony Joshua's career about the Saudi Arabia rematch. And what is that about? That is about Andy Ruiz Jr. wanting to end Anthony Joshua's career in Saudi Arabia. So now, why all of a sudden does he want to end his career in Saudi Arabia, but he wasn't protected there, he wasn't eager, he wasn't freaking over the moon about going there? As a matter of fact, he was trying to file a junction to keep him from going there. But Matchroom put their foot down, and they got this nigga piss boy scared. So now, he is acting like he is all ready to go. He's excited about it. He wants to shock the world again. I think he already knows that lightning has struck, and he doesn't believe that lightning will strike in the same place twice. So now that he is already involved in this thing, he's got to give you guys some false narrated sense of hope for those people that believe in him, to back him to come out and give Andy Ruiz his support. Hopefully the morale will usher him back into the gym, and he starts to take things more seriously, because I don't know if you guys looked at the date on that article, but it was 6 hours ago when Tyson Fury made his statements about Andy Ruiz not training, and we are already basically in the month of September, and we have seen no action from this kid. So what does that say about his work rate? He doesn't have one. And a kid who was already on the brink of suicide, and to get all of that money, to call a guy a robot, to spend all of the money he spent, taxes fucking yapping away at his ass, him just feeling like he's larger than life on Telemundo every fucking chance he get. Like I said, he don't want to fucking picture man on any, from fucking Rolls Royce to picture man. That's for parade float to picture man to Rolls Royce. That's all the kid knows, man. He's enjoying that aspect of the life, and he's not enjoying the harder aspects to what you need to do to maintain and keep it. And that means that you must train, you must be physically fit, you must keep a level head, and you must remain humble. And that's the difference between Anthony Joshua and him. So when Anthony Joshua says that this man is digging his own grave, truly believe that it has been dug. And in the words of Jay-Z, dig a hole. Dig a fucking hole, because that's exactly where Andy Ruiz is going to get planted. The hole has been placed in Saudi Arabia on December 7th in Diriyah, and we just going to drop his ass in it with a fucking right across his grill all night. I mean, shit, I would just pepper him and feed him the jab all freaking night. He deserves it. He deserved to get killed slowly, abuse his body. Now, if you look here, Mr. Anthony Joshua was letting you know that it's a different kind of thing now. It's a different kind of thing, because the shoe is on the other foot. Now he has something to be inspired for, becoming the 2-time champion of the world, solidifying his spot with the greats, letting people know that he dictates the future of boxing. He dictates the purses. He dictates what's going on. He has to be the number one guy. But being the number one guy, don't ask him about no Tyson Fury. Don't ask him about no Deontay Wilder. The only thing you should ask him about is Andy Ruiz, because that's all he's focused on. And for those guys, watch them continue to piggyback his profile. So Andy Ruiz is in trouble. So more news when more news is presented. But for right now, I would have to say that it is all 150% love. You know, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. As we always say, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. This is your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Pop, pop. You know what it is. And once again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. We have reached 1,000 plus and we are still climbing fast as shit. I know guys that have been doing this way longer than me, and I basically already done caught some of them. Those who should not be named, because it ain't even about the competition. It's just about this sweet science, man. It's about this boxing game, man. And like AJ said, it's a different kind of ting now. So like I said, be on the lookout for all of the things that Anthony Joshua is doing, because we already know what Andy Ruiz is doing. And as I've told you guys before, when you want to know what an individual is doing, you pay attention to the actions and not the words. And I'm paying attention to the guy who's been keeping his head down. He's been training and remaining humble and has that fire in his heart. Not the guy that's been stirring up controversy and a whole bunch of bullshit. But that's for another day. As always, respect.